Hello and welcome. Our top story today is from South Africa. Billionaire Elon Musk has been at odds with his birth country and has yet again accused Pretoria of racism. Why? Because his internet service provider Starlink is not allowed to operate in South Africa. Musk said that he suffers from discrimination only because he is not black. Musk made these remarks in a post on X. In another post, Musk slammed South Africa for having more anti-white laws than anti-black laws under apartheid. Discrimination against the white people. This is exactly what US President Donald Trump has also accused Pretoria of. Musk is a former Trump ally. The two have had a complicated relationship, but they share the same stance over South Africa's broad-based black empowerment laws, introduced to redress the legacy of apartheid. These rules have been at the centre of the disputes between Musk and Pretoria. Let's break it down. South Africa's telecom sector is regulated by the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa. It requires foreign companies to adhere to the black empowerment laws, and one of the mandates is ensuring 30% local ownership. This basically means the 30% ownership in such companies should be held by black South Africans, women, youth or people with disabilities. But Starlink chief Musk has not been okay with it. He has repeatedly called the rules openly racist. As an alternative, his company proposed equity equivalent investment programs. This means that instead of ceding equity to local companies, companies should meet empowerment obligations through direct investment. There has been some progress in this direction as well, but it is disputed. Last month, South Africa's communications minister issued a directive. He asked the telecom regulator to amend its rules in local ownership and count equity equivalent investment programs as a valid alternative to ceding ownership. But here is the catch. There is domestic politics at play. The communications minister belongs to the Democratic Alliance Party, or DA. It is the second largest party in the Ramaphosa-led coalition government. Now, the DA and Ramaphosa's African National Congress, or ANC, has been at loggerheads over the black empowerment rules. Black empowerment has been the cornerstone of ANC's policy, but the DA has had issues with it. It has called the rules a failure and even proposed to repeal the race-based laws. But the ANC has downright rejected the idea. Right after, the communications minister issued a directive last month. The ANC said that he had not have the authority to alter ownership rules.
And on to our next story. Billionaire Elon Musk's Starlink has been aggressively penetrating the African market. And the latest African nation to get Starlink is Senegal. The satellite internet service provider has begun operations in the African country. It made the announcement on its handle X. Now, Starlink's entry in Senegal comes after the nation's principal network provider, Sonatel Orange, started offering satellite-based internet in December. In December, it launched its services in one of Africa's most isolated countries. We are talking about Sao Tome and Principe. Now, it is a small island nation in the Gulf of Guinea, where connectivity is still trailing behind many countries. Though Starlink is making significant gains, it has also been facing challenges, starting with South Africa. It is Elon Musk's birth country, but Starlink still does not have the permit to operate there. Why? Now, Musk has claimed that this is only because he is not black. According to South Africa's black empowerment laws, foreign companies must ensure 30% local ownership. But Elon Musk has refused to cede equity to locals, calling the rules openly racist. Now, back in December, in the run-up to the polls, Uganda has restricted imports of Starlink equipment.
Is he using Starlink? What the fuck is that? Oh. Chat, what is this? Yes, we're using Starlink.
One on my back too.
Yeah. Oh shit, we didn't even show that rig. We didn't show it.
We should have yet. New product.
Oh yeah, we do got the unreleased.
See what give us an ad.
Nah, we'll show y'all. Maybe during like the safari stream, trial stream, we show the new rig.
All right, Tribute to Call the Peace and War Times. You've seen the name of the video, so we want to ask. It's going to be a two-part question, but the second one will be asked based upon the first reading. So we want to know, was Ishowspeed being used by Elon Musk to spy on Africa? So for those who've been keeping up with that information, or you go back and do some research, Elon has been trying to get Starlink into Africa, and but he don't want to give up 30% of his business to Africans, and that's the rule. But our people seem to never learn. Whenever you let other people in, it always start like that and end up in somewhere else, and nobody got time for that. All right, so I'm shuffling. So we're gonna do like 6 cards. I'm gonna put out 3 of these, the regular tarot, bring it over some so y'all can see it. And at the bottom of the deck is a temperance card. That's going to be at the bottom of the deck. That'll be what'll be going on at the end. Get some of the Lunaboo Tarot deck and pull 3. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, it's the same question as Elon Musk using our speed. Now, remember he said in the video that it was unreleased, so he using tech that ain't even out. All right, so and we already know that Elon is down with Agenda 21 Sustainable Development Goals, and he was in the Epstein files and all of that good stuff. All right, that's the second card that popped out. One more. Get one more. So anything he trying to do is, he down with their team. He down with the small hats and the Noahide laws and the world dominancy and all that good stuff like that. So those who know, you know. If you don't, you might need to hit me in the comments to give you a little bit more information. All right, that's that. And at the bottom of the deck, it's the good and bad spirit card. So that's going to be at the end. All right, so the first card we got for that question is the Ace of Pentacles. All right, and it says financial new beginning, new financial opportunities, new job, new house, business, money, investment, savings, prosperity, security, stability, abundance, and manifestation. Now we know that this is like the highest cause in a suit, and it was about money. He definitely made a lot of money. He went to sea, but we know this is a business, so we have to always remember that sometimes our people get used to do things for other people that got something else. Like I said, for Elon Musk, if we ain't got that answer yet, but if we take the Ace of Pentacles, which is like the highest, we in a suit, the ace is pretty high, and the pentacles represent money, and it represent earth and all that. So he did go back to the motherland, and he was traveling on the ground. We got the pentacles. You see, it's a hand from the clouds with a pinnacle. So we know that Starlink was in a satellite up above. So that this is also a confirmation. So let's see. Let's ask this. What is the Ace of Pentacles in the upright in referencing to spying? All right, hold on. It didn't say. I said spying, not spine. All right. All right. It says, in the upright position, the Ace of Pentacles in the context of spying refers to the beginning of a new, tangible, and highly profitable intelligence gathering endeavor. It represents the initiation of a secure and fruitful surveillance project that will likely yield valuable material, financial, or confidential information. All right, here's how the Ace of Pentacles in upright position breaks down regarding spying. A green light for intelligence gathering the card represents a golden opportunity or a go-ahead to start a new, well-planned and fruitful operation. The seed of information as an ace, it symbolizes the very first steps, planting the seed for gaining crucial, actionable intelligence. So now, we know that that the Ace of Pentacles in this particular place is dealing with that. Remember, the Ace is like in spades. Ace is high if you know how to play spades. So we know that this dealing with high intelligence, and they said it's a green light. So we know that Ishowspeed went through 20 so-called countries in Africa, 18 in North Africa, 2 in South Africa. All right, so that was very interesting. So let's keep it pushing. All right, so now we got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It says bad luck, upheaval, disorder, external forces, lack of control, disruption, unwelcome change, delays, and setbacks. So we did see that when he went over there. Certain places didn't welcome him, but we're asking about spying. So let's ask about this. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse as it pertains to spying.
The reversed Wheel of Fortune in spying means a downturn, with failed operations and a loss of control due to bad luck or a failure to adapt. It suggests that old methods are failing, increasing the risk of exposure and potentially repeating past mistakes. A reevaluation is needed.
All right, so it goes also say failed operations and bad luck. Operations are that once succeeded or failing. The wheel has turned downward, turning previously favorable circumstances against the operative. Failed adaptation, resisting to changing tactics in a shifting environment, using old, obsolete methods to gather intelligence, leading to a loss of efficiency. So this is basically saying this again. Go back to what I said before. This is the same tactics that they use one of us to go infiltrate something, whether they known or not. But it was overwhelmingly a positive experience because people got a chance to see parts of Africa they never seen, and it got rid of some of the stereotypes that the West has shown on television. So this is speaking directly to what Elon was doing with Ishowspeed going country to country. And remember, the only 3 countries that's standing up right now in the kingdom of Africa, as Anouk called it, right? We got to get away from calling it countries and continent because they chopped it up. Africa is a kingdom, all right? Is that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso standing up. And so they want to gather intelligence like they did with General Langley, and that didn't work. And they removed him, but I don't think he's out of the picture. That's another reading for another time. All right, so basically it's saying exposure and risk and increased likelihood of getting caught or of ignition failing. It indicates a period of chaos where control over intelligence sources is lost. All right, so right now it's still on point. So now we got what? the Two of Pentacles in the upright. And it says, sorry, so y'all can see that. Balance, trying to find balance, resourcefulness, ups and downs, adaptability, flexibility, juggling life, juggling money, balancing books, transferring money, profit and loss. All right. So that, again, we know that as far as Elon Musk is concerned, that's his business. In the line of business they in, there's a balance and juggling act of trying to figure out, how to keep money, get money, and all that stuff like that. So let's see what this is. The Two of Pentacles in the upright as it pertains to spying.
The Two of Pentacles, when upright, suggests you need to be adaptable and resourceful, especially when juggling multiple roles like in spying. It highlights the need to manage sensitive information discreetly and navigate unpredictable situations while staying undercover.
All right, so this one is now talking about the one that's possibly being the person that's either Ishowspeed or it's Elon Musk. But people know that Elon Musk was involved because Ishowspeed revealed it. So the question could be, is Ishowspeed doing a juggling act? All right, key aspect for spying, dual roles in disguise. The ability to juggle two different personas or roles simultaneously without raising suspicion. So this is pointing more toward the person who's out front, who appears to be, and again, this is just allegedly, and this from this perspective, that it appears that he is going to Africa just to visit, build up his followers, and see the people and the culture and all of that. That's one role. But on the other hand, that person could be used to be doing other things like running reconnaissance, which is surveying the area more up close, looking at things that we on the one side are only looking at him. Because if you look at, again, that's allegedly, if he's playing that double agent role, you only looking at his antics and people who he interacting with, and you know all these billionaires like to pay crowds of people to do this whole acting thing. All right, so this card here is leaning more toward the person that you're seeing could be playing a double role. All right, so now we got the Temperance card on the bottom of the deck. All right, which is I think it's a major, and it says an upright: balance, peace, patience, moderation, inner calm, perspective, tranquility, harmonious relationships, soulmates, and serenity. Because remember, the whole thing was to try to make Africa look a certain kind of way. But if you look at it, it goes with this card, because that's not what happened with the Wheel of Fortune turned reverse. The person who wanted that, the people who was behind watching Ishowspeed go through those countries, it didn't make Africa look bad. It actually made it look good, and it got more positive than negative. So that's what this is. So let's see. The Temperance card in the upright as it pertains to spying. All right, I didn't speak this time. So it says, in upright position, the Temperance card as it pertains to spying suggests a situation of careful observation, moderation, and gathering information with patience rather than aggressive or frantic surveillance. It indicates that someone is watching but doing so quietly and methodically, perhaps to gain a better understanding, create harmony, or ensure they have all the facts before acting. All right, so this goes back to the watchers, right? Which goes back to whoever was watching Ishowspeed through that link. Remember, he said he had a tech that was unreleased. So what makes him so special is the question. All right, it said a need for balance if you are the one spying. The card advises you to bring balance and to stop overacting or being paranoid. It asks for moderation and self-restraint in how you seek information, watching for self-protection, The watcher may be trying to understand the situation better to bring about harmony. They might be waiting for the right moment to act, trying to ensure that their action or yours are balanced and fair. But again, we know that this is not the case. All right. So these first 4 cards is definitely leaning toward spying was indeed going on. All right. So now we have the Zubahu and Zubaha card, and the pictures is like of a primate in reverse. All right. So when you read this, the brain new gods and nerves and goddesses of primates, mammals, reptiles, etc. of non-African races called mankind. So this is a mankind card. We know that Elon Musk is of the mankind races. All right. These piles do not reason in circles of these species. They think linear and they align. This card is bound by the 6 senses: touch, taste, smell, see, hear, and think. Spiritually is interpreted and seen through the straight line experience. This card gives all the wrong answers to solve problems. In fact, it makes it worse. So this card in the upright, which is a positive, still gives you the wrong information. But it was in reverse. So this, the opposite of this will be the Nubahu and Zubahu card, which is one of my names that I had before. Tarnun Nubahu Nupu. So this is a confirmation card. So what I'm doing is giving you the right information by the reading of what is going on. So this is a confirmation card. This is not necessarily talking about Elon Musk directly like these cards, but in fact it's a man card, mankind, bottom half brain new god, but this is more in reference to me. All right, the next one is the reverse orbs mental card in the upright. All right, so we still asking the same question. All right, negative spirit beings imitating the orbs, corrupt ancient information, giving teaching religion as positive, invisible gods of nature, mentally downgraders, galactic separation of family, in Zupu's name, 6 ether, spirits refuse to carry your memories and personality to the next life. So these are negative cards. So that again, this is dealing with deception. All right, so when the orbs are in reverse, that means their negative parts are at play. All right, so that definitely, these cards, Fanny, was a negative scenario that was set up. And look what popped up again. Leviathan, right? It says controlling people and nations with sex, lies, death, represent negative side of all the gods and goddesses combined. Part of the what? Earth god gave the devil for mankind. The atmosphere, right? We know that the satellite is in the atmosphere. Hypnotic spells and pantheism, religions and Sabiism. The zodiac, the animal kingdom, 6543 ether forces. So Leviathan was definitely in here playing games, and that falls under the balancing act because these are games that's being played. All right, we got the negative reverse orbs, which is the same thing as far as this. Remember the world of fortune, this in reverse, but it was in the positive. But this right here, by having the reverse orb card pop up, it's definitely saying that it was fish business going on, which follows the temperance card because it was negative. Even though it was set up to look like it was positive, that's what they want to represent. All right, so the last card at the bottom of the deck is the good and bad spirit Nephilim card, and it says Agatho demons, original spirit gods and goddesses, sovereign helps and harms persons, places, and things, control masses of people, create sciences, philosophies, pantheons, religions, occult orders, Masonic orders, cults. They've existed since the beginning of creation. They control the powers of nature, earth, wind, fire, and water, divine powers, regardless of actions they commit in the world. Arms of the one supreme being. So that's the bottom of the deck. So that means that good and bad spirits was involved with this scenario, and the bad would be Elon Musk involved, and then the good would be the result of what happened. Even though Leviathan was a part of it, trying to get reconnaissance, the overall trip for Ishowspeed was gooch. All right, so what we want to do now is ask, was Ishowspeed aware of Elon Musk's true intention? So, all right, so was Ishowspeed aware of Elon Musk's true intention to spy? All right. All right, the first card that come out is, what is this, the Ten of Swords? No, it's the, it's the Eight of Swords in reverse. All right, we'll get to that in a second. They had some fall out. So this card came out. The Queen of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Swords are not right. The Eight of Swords in reverse as it pertains of being aware of deception. All right. So it says, the Eight of Swords reverse, when interpreted through the lens of becoming aware of deception, signifies a powerful breakthrough where the blindfold of illusion is removed, allowing you to see the true nature of a situation, while the upright card represents self-deception or feeling trapped by external, often imagined restriction. The reverse represents a moment of clarity, honesty, and the sudden realization that you are not as powerless as you believe. All right, removing the blindfold, seeing the truth, waking up. The core meaning here is breaking free from the mental traps and seeing yourself clearly without the haze of fear, self-doubt. So I think this is speaking more of what was going on in Africa. His eyes was being made to see that more so than anything. So it's not really speaking as if it was something nefarious going on that. So this is what he said, recognizing gaslighting. If you have been in a situation, relationship, job where you doubted your own reality, this card indicates that you are finally seeing the hidden truths or the underhand dealings that were going on out the right under your nose. So that also can be something pertaining to maybe some business deals at the same time. So right here, this first card did not directly answer that, but it did say his vision of what his reality is. Like his father tried to say it was no African in his bloodline, but he found out that he had some family over there that they showed with the same last name. Don't know if that was set up that way, whatever the case, but we all know if you got kinky hair, you African by race. All right, so let's move on. So now we got the Queen of Cups in reverse, right? So let's read what it says. Emotional immaturity, insecurity, lack of trust, lacking direction. So we know that if you really look at Ishowspeed, just like Casanat, they didn't have true education about the world and where they came from. And this is why when you look at Ishowspeed, most of the times he's not, number one, him and Casanat do act immature, whether that was for clickbait or whatever, but off looking at it from looking at both of them throughout time, they are very immature, act silly. People in the woke community or conscious would call that cooning and buffooning and buck dancing and shoe shining. They just getting paid more for it than people that came ahead of them. No disrespect, this is what I'm looking at it. All right, so let's see. The Queen of Cups in the reverse as it pertains to being aware of deception. All right, it says the Queen of Cups reversed when it pertains to being aware. Deception signifies the crucial, often painful shift from blind trust to the realization of hidden motives, emotional manipulation, self-deception. It warns that your intuition, usually a strength that has been clouded, or you ignoring red flag because you want to believe a particular false narrative. All right, so this is following the first card that seems like he was ignorant to how things were going as far as his way he viewed the world from Western perception in Africa. Waking up to reality. The card often appears when you are forced to stop suppressing or denying your feelings about a situation. It is a moment of clarity, breaking through emotional fog, showing that a person or situation is not as pure, caring, or honest as they have presented themselves. All right, so that's pretty good. Now we got the Five of Swords, which is a battle card. All right, and it's an upright. It says defeat, surrender, change, walking away, self-sacrifice, self-sabotaging behavior, underhanded behavior, deception, lack of communication, aggression, bullying, and intimidation. So we did see him get bullied by the crowd when he went to, I think, Nigeria, when he went to the soccer game. And I think he got mistreated at another place he visited. It was a bunch of Caucasian people around. I don't think he was in Africa at that place. All right, so let's ask this one here. The Five of Swords in the upright as it pertains to deception.
The Five of Swords, in its upright position, suggests deception stemming from conflict. It warns of dishonest tactics, betrayal, and victories achieved through underhanded means, indicating a breakdown of trust in the situation.
All right, so it says what? Betrayal and backstabbing. This card often points to someone acting against your best interest, sometimes in a sneaky or calculated manner to gain an advantage. Bullying and intimidation, deception may take the form of coercion or aggressive behavior, making others feel defeated, alienated, or forced to submit. Hollow victory. The perpetrator may win the argument or situation, but the victory is tainted by the dishonest method used, leading to long-term resentment or loss of reputation. Hidden agenda. The card suggests that not all or perhaps none of the information on the table is honest, with hidden motives driving the conflict. Self-deception. In some cases, this card can represent lying to oneself about the reality of a situation or pretending a conflict is over when it is not. So once again, this could be inner circle information, because this is not speaking to him knowing about if Elon Musk is taking that information and doing something with it. So let me get clarification on my question. I need clarification. Was Ishowspeed aware of any nefarious information being done behind his back with the stream? All right, this card came out. It's the Two of Swords and upright. It says stalemate, a truce, sitting on the fence, crossroads, difficult decisions, painful choices, stressful decisions, opposition, facing your fears, being torn between two relationships, divided loyalty. So this whole reading is about something that's going on in his circle. And we know that he got a problem between his parents. They showed that his mother was not really supportive, and his father, even though he appeared to be in his life, he still was being very negative about certain topics within the conversation that I was able to see. But I know that between his mother and father, there is a problem there. So it seems like I'm not getting a direct answer. And usually when tarot does that, that means it's not relevant. That is not the case. All right, so I just want to leave it at that. Truman to call it peace in noon times. Happy noon, Ethiopian year 64 to all my kins and friends.